Police arrest the man they say ran down a father of two and just kept on going. What we are learning about where that driver went and how officers tracked him down.
Part of Balboa Park overwhelmed by graffiti. Why neighbors say they've never seen it this bad, and what they say is evidence the tagging is getting worse.
And a letter in the mail worries neighbors in Coronado that Lindbergh Field might be expanding onto the island. So 10 News goes right to the airport authority to clear the air about what's really going on. But first, there is new information tonight about that hit and run in Sherman Heights that killed a father of two little girls.
Police arrested the man they say fled the scene and grabbed a bite to eat at a taco shop right after the crash. 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is joining us live. And Mimi, tips from community members helped police track this man down?
Kimberly, Steve, once police released the suspect's photos yesterday, all of those tips from the community started rolling in today, and police were finally able to make the arrest for that deadly hit and run that happened here behind me on Market Street. 41-year-old Jason Gordon was a husband and father of two one-year-old twin girls, a man loved by many people who are now trying to support his wife and children after his death. A GoFundMe page has already raised about $60 grand for the family. San Diego police released these surveillance photos of the man they say ran over Gordon in a crosswalk on Market Street early Sunday morning, dragging him and leaving the scene in the silver GMC. Today, the driver was identified as 28-year-old Christopher Nunez. He was tracked down and arrested at his home on Timothy Drive. His next-door neighbor was in disbelief.
I drive a bus, I see a lot of things, and I'm on our accident appeal board, so things are deceptive. People shouldn't just go ahead and jump to conclusions until you finally know. We're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
Police say after that fatal hit, Nunez went to Humberto's taco shop on 25th and Broadway and ordered food.
The fact that, I saw this guy face to face, and I remember him acting completely normal. I mean, a little tipsy, that's about it, but.
Kevin Rico was working the register and took his order. He said Nunez was possibly intoxicated, cracked a joke, and didn't seem to be concerned about anything.
Once he hit the car right behind him, he kind of tried to say sorry or apologize for it, but he didn't even bother to check, and he just left.
Today, Gordon's wife sent us a statement saying, quote, "While nothing can bring Jason back to his family, this arrest is a small step forward in the healing process. A sincere thanks for everyone who shared information." And Nunez has been booked into the county jail for felony hit and run. He is due in court for his arraignment this Friday. We're live in Sherman Heights. Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
San Diego police say they tracked Nunez using one of the city's smart street lights. It's the latest example of police using the surveillance cameras within the street lights to find someone accused of a crime. Right now, there are more than 3,000 smart street lights all over San Diego, most of them equipped with cameras. More are coming. The city is expected to add about 1,000 more smart sensors to the street lights by the middle of this year.
The Encinitas City Council will vote tonight on whether to open a parking lot where homeless people can spend the night in their cars. A city council meeting is just getting underway, we're told, and people are packing in. Our 10 News reporter Matt Boone has covered this issue extensively. He joins us live from City Hall now. And Matt, a lot of people don't want to see this happen.
Yeah, there's been a pretty big crowd gathering outside that meeting, as you said, just starting right now at 6 o'clock, though that agenda item isn't until later on in the meeting, and already we're seeing dozens of people signing up, wanting to speak in front of the city council. Now, that property at hand, it's called the Leash Tag Commons. It's over on Saxony Road. It's a large agricultural property located here in Encinitas. And what the city will be voting on is whether or not to approve a resolution to allow a safe parking lot at that site. The property is, as we said, agricultural, and it would allow for Jewish Family Service to operate an overnight parking facility for 25 vehicles. JFS already operates 3 of these lots in San Diego, which allow people who live in their cars to have a safe place to park overnight as they work to get back on their feet. The program will also offer wraparound services to help homeless residents get medical help and connect them to job and permanent housing services. We have spoken, though, to residents who are staunchly against this plan. They worry that it could bring crime to the area, but Michael Hopkins with Jewish Family Service says those worries are based on misconceptions about how these lots work.
The types of individuals, the families, the seniors that we serve that are sleeping in their cars at night are different than the types of homeless folks that maybe some of us imagine in our heads. And these are individuals that Those that aren't seniors are working during the day, they're taking their kids to school. They're pretty responsible individuals.
So he's obviously in favor of getting this through. They would be the ones operating it, but as you can see, lots of people were out here signing petitions and getting badges against this. So we'll see how their thoughts play out in front of the City Council tonight. Now, as for funding, this actually won't cost the City of Encinitas any money. This grant, about $250,000, is coming directly from the state to Jewish Family Service to operate a facility like this. But of course, they need to get this approval from the City Council to be able to operate on that property, that agricultural property, the Leashtag Commons. Reporting live in Encinitas tonight, Matt Boone, 10 News.
We will follow that issue. Thank you, Matt. A San Diego contractor first exposed by Team 10 in 2018 has been sentenced to a year in custody. Stephen Hage pleaded guilty last year to taking money from homeowners to do work on their homes, but then never doing it. 22 people say he did this to them.
He didn't start the work or do shoddy work. He didn't do anything for the majority of those victims. Just took their money, signed a contract, made promises, and he was gone. Goodbye to the next person.
He will be released to a work furlough after a month so he can earn money to pay back his victims. Before today's sentencing, Team 10 learned Hage was accused by a man in Yuma, Arizona, of taking his money and not doing the work. It's unclear if he will face charges there.
Detectives are investigating a woman's claim that she was sexually assaulted in Edgar Highlands. Police say the woman told them she was sitting at a bus stop on Saturn Boulevard when a man drove up and offered her a ride. She said no. But then he grabbed her and pulled her into the car. She then told police that's when he sexually assaulted her, then dumped her at a Rite Aid a few blocks away. She walked across the street to call 911. We're told that San Diego sex crimes detectives are now investigating but have not said if they have any suspects.
It's not a kind of message that I think that we want to send to North Park.
On the edge of Balboa Park, park goers arrived to a fresh layer of graffiti all over the playground area. New at 6 o'clock, as 10 News reporter Michael Chen found out, a recent tagging spree in the area has some neighbors fed up.
Joanne Shar leads a boot camp class at Bird Park at Upis 3 times a week. But after a year of coming here, the things that drew her...
I mean, you come here, you want to have a happy space, work out. People bring their kids, their pets.
...are now awash in graffiti.
The new tags I noticed are on the tabletop here in black.
From the tables and benches...
and it continues all along the wall here.
And the wall wrapping around the playground area to utility boxes and this tagging on the ground.
Doesn't give it a good image at all.
Kathy Lee has lived in the neighborhood for 40 years and takes her dogs to the park twice a day.
And when I see the graffiti, it is disheartening.
Lee says every few days there is more graffiti. On the concrete wall that surrounds the park, there is tagging that has been painted over, only to have the wall tagged again and again.
And that's not what this park is about.
On the Nextdoor app, some longtime neighbors say this is the worst they've ever seen.
The graffiti now creeping into areas previously untouched, like this swing set, and that is nothing to smile at.
So we have the rocks here, which I've never seen tagged.
As the graffiti spreads, so does the frustration, tag by tag.
Community is giving a park to us, but if you treat it like this, it's not very rewarding.
Not a kind of message that I think that we want to send to North Park.
Michael Chen, 10 News.
Destroying the beauty. And several neighbors have posted on the city's Get It Done app to get it cleaned up. Park goers worry it will be tagged as soon as it's cleaned up. Starting tomorrow, the county will mail out sample ballots with information about the upcoming census. Today, the county also laid out its other plans for educating San Diegans about the census count, and that includes installing census kiosks at all county libraries. It will also put up signs and information in county buildings where there's a lot of foot traffic. The census count determines the federal funds distributed to each state, as well as how many representatives states send to Congress. And the official count starts in April.
San Diego city leaders are a step closer to finalizing the budget for the next fiscal year. That budget committee reviewed and unanimously adopted a set of funding priorities this year. Top of mind, homelessness, climate action, and street repairs. Our latest 10 News Union Tribune scientific poll found those are also among the most important issues for San Diegans. The entire city council still needs to discuss the priorities along with the mayor before budget hearings in May. And we want to clarify a poll that we ran yesterday on Measure C, which city residents will have the chance to vote on in March. This is the hotel visitors tax increase for the convention center, the expansion of it, the homeless programs, and street repairs. If approved, it would increase the city's hotel visitors tax from 10.5% to either 11.75 to 12.75 or 13.75, depending on the hotel's location. The original poll question did not make clear this is a hotel visitors tax or the incremental increases. We regret the error and will be conducting a new poll which will include that language.